Hello, my name is Random Attributes, and this is a almost completely blind playthrough of Call of Cthulhu for the PlayStation 4. I'll be honest, I wouldn't call myself a massive Cthulhu fan. My knowledge of the mythos is basically limited to reading a couple of the short stories back in the day, in particular the Call of Cthulhu and The Shadow over Innsmouth, and I've also listened to a couple of Metallica songs. That's about it. The only other thing I have done, and this is important, is that I am one of the 6 people on the planet who has played and somewhat enjoyed Dark Corners of the Earth. Dark Corners of the Earth is not a good game, I'll stand by that, but it is a game that is absolutely dripping in atmosphere. It does some good things, and I know this particular game didn't get good reviews either, but I'm hoping that this game can sort of try and match the vibes of Dark Corners. If it can, I think I'll have a good time, but I'm going to this blind. I haven't looked at the reviews other than they were mid-60s or so. Haven't really watched any gameplay videos. I have played up to the start of Chapter 2, but I really wasn't paying any attention to what's going on. Having said that though, I think this is a game that I'll be interested in playing and putting on the channel. So let's take a look. Dramatic footage on the right hand side there. Oh, look at that. If you switch between the settings here, or the menu options, you can sort of see there's like a glitch effect where the text is going really weird. Oh, what the fuck was that? I saw that on the right there. All of those figures suddenly appearing and then disappearing. Subtitles. Are the subtitles on? Yes. Okay, graphic will get nothing but brightness. I might turn that up a fraction. I'll probably adjust it in post as well. And look at that icon on the right there. If you've played Dark Corners, that is basically the sanctuary icon. It's the eye symbol surrounded by a pentagram. No, I definitely want to make that change. Alright, so let's take a look. Chapter 1. Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce. Not Jack Walters, Edward Pierce. Veteran of the First World War, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly, or risk losing his license. We're not continuing, we're not pushing X to continue, we are entering madness. If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. Whoa. Blood and guts galore. This does not look like our detective agency. To move, use the left stick. Where are we? Some sort of fish processing area? It doesn't look very modernized even for 1924 standards. To crouch, press, toggle, circle. Makes sense. Not getting through there. not getting through there either. The lamp. The lamp that is on all of the arse. Counts of darkness. You must light up some items in order to interact with them. So I'll grab the lamp and go back there. And yeah, I'm trying to walk off here, but we're running into an invisible wall. Clearly some sort of underground cavern or smuggling place. Let's grab that lamp. Lantern, whatever it's called. Pick up an object. When an object can be picked up, press cross. Hurricane lamp. Hurricane. Curious. That symbol. Trying to think what it represents. Spears, maybe? Fishing supplies? Baits? Whoa. I did not see that on my testing. Item obtained. Bolt cutter. Alright, so I can cut that open. Can I cut this one open? Nothing creepy about that at all. Yeah, both doors lead to the same place. I can't tell if that's chancing or just... Yeah, it's definitely chancing. It's kind of giving me an Arkham Asylum vibe.
What a putrid offering.
It just seems so wasteful. And disgusting.
Have been chosen.
Hold down L2 to run.
Behold, everything has already been written.
What's wrong with your faces?
But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Is that us? That hand's not normal. Okay, that wasn't us.
I hate whiskey.
His right hand was a mass of tentacles, but he attacked that other dude and then us with his left hand. Curious. Something about a new diary entry? Pierce Investigation Agency. 20th of October, 1924. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay, but I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatments, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? There's a few options up top, but I'll pass on those for now. I hope that music doesn't get me flagged. All in all, a pretty cozy office.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Sleeping pills. The doctors prescribed them when I returned from the war. They swore that they would put an end to the nightmares, but for a while now, their effect has been wearing off. Item obtained. It's not in our inventory. In our inventory we have a lighter. My old lighter that I engraved in memory of the 77th Infantry Division and the men of the Lost Battalion who fell. I can't flick it open. Terribly disappointing. Okay, so that item, we obtained it, but it went into the knowledge section, so I assume we can't use the sleeping pills. What does it say there? Use with caution or something? Yeah, use with caution.
Been too long since I've slept in a bed. Been too long since I've slept in a bed. I used to be an avid reader.
Was that before the war? The war ended in 1918, that was 6 years ago. I can't imagine you would have built up these supplies of books before the war. Right, I can open that, but I can't grab whatever's inside. Certificate of Membership of Wentworth Agency, United States Detective Agency of Boston, Massachusetts. I can't read what is under there.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
I can grab something out of here.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
Case closed. The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed. More knowledge? Yeah, we can't open that at all. Whiskey, a diary.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
Case solved. The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed his case. But when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. I'd love to learn more about this stuff, but I don't think we can. Just do some squats in the office. That's good exercise.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Is the radio okay?
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
There was a bit of a skip in the audio there as I inspected that book. Boston hit by most severe blizzard in years, snow paralysing traffic. Prohibition. Boston strangler escapes from state mental ward. Right, well, clearly we're half reasonable at our job. But we're now just drowning our sorrows in whiskey and sleeping pills.
I should get rid of all this stuff.
Why?
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
I'm not sure what's just happened. We've just been kicked into the inventory screen. I don't know whether that's just a way of saying, okay, I've picked up a diary, so we're now looking at the stuff on the left, which is basically our missions, our diary, or something else perhaps. Yeah, that just loaded me into the inventory screen. with no further interaction. US is voted dry. Oh, I'm not going to drink. I'm a good boy, chat. It's just going to stay there the entire time, tempting us. Must not drink. Alright, let's turn the radio off, and I believe this is the trigger for the first major event. Autosave.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
I've definitely heard of more convoluted ways of creating a character like that. So, I've never played the Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG, but I have read a tiny little bit of it on TV tropes, and it definitely mentioned that spot hidden was very, very important. What have we got here? We have eloquence. Represents your ability to influence those you talk to by the power of your speech. Increases chances of convincing or manipulating during discussions. Represents your ability to find hidden objects. Increases your chance of finding hidden objects. An undiscovered object will not appear in-game. Alright, the 100% completionist is screaming right now. Psychology represents your knowledge of human behavior. Improving this skill increases your chances of understanding the motivations of a person based on his or her behavior or on the analysis of objects. Well, I'm terrible at that in the real world, so I'll leave that be. Strength is call on your physical power. Increases your chance of forcing doors or mechanisms, or of using violence, physical or verbal, during interactive discussions. It's curious that it talks about verbal there. Investigation. This is the one that I think I want to pump up. Represents your investigating talents. Improving this skill increases your chances of understanding past events by analyzing a crime scene or an object, and of picking locks. Medicine. Improving this skill increases your chances of determining the dosage of a drug, of making a diagnosis, or of expressing your understanding of a medical problem. And we're not good at it. I don't know why these two are in yellow and the other ones are in pink. We're a good investigator, but we're not a good doctor, or what would you call this? A good cult member, perhaps? Not sure. Occultism represents your knowledge of the occult sciences. Improving this skill increases your chances of determining the use and origin of occult artifacts, and of expressing your knowledge of the myth. Alright, well, I definitely want to increase investigation. And yeah, if I pump another 6 points in there, I'll get to level 5, and that brings me up to 100%. Whatever that means. I don't know if that means we pass all checks automatically or something else. I could put 2 points into there. I will. That was what I did in my test, and I didn't see if anything comes out of that or not. I think I would also like to pump occultism. That seems interesting to me. So maybe I'll concentrate on these 3 particular stats throughout my playthrough. Alright, let's validate by hitting the options button. Yep, let's validate these attributes.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
How sensitive?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
You hung up.
I'm coming.
Harsh.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
I mean, you're welcome to leave.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Exactly.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
She painted
Tell
that?
me if this is the work of madness,
It's close.
or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
File and a painting. I wonder if this is like a psychology test that he's doing. Notebook contains things. Let's look at it. Here we go. A strange picture, painted by Sarah Hawkins a short while before her tragic death, was sent to her father just after the artist died. He is convinced that she is the sender. He brought me the painting so that I could examine it. Stephen Webster, the wealthy industrialist, came to my office. He wants me to reopen the Sarah Hawkins case, named after his daughter, who died in a fire alongside her entire family. I must examine the documents he compiled in order to know more about the case. They died in a fire. That's often the best way to destroy evidence or hide something. Right, I'm using the left stick, but I don't believe I can move on the left-hand side down to examine the painting and examine the Hawkins file. Alright, let's examine the painting. I have to hold that down, and that is an investigation check.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
Alright, we have examined the painting, and we picked up a clue. Painting by Sarah Hawkins. This painting depicts a monstrous silhouette threatening a woman and child. Flames can be made out in the background. Stephen Webster, the father of Sarah Hawkins, thinks that it is a link to the death of his daughter. The file. The Chanty? Yeah, Chanty. Couldn't tell if that was Chantry or Chanty. Marriage on Darkwater, 19th of June, 1912. 12 years ago.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Nothing behind there. A shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. And that's where the painting came from. The police report. It says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they, nevertheless, insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? A press cutting. An article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life there with their only son, Simon. The son did it. That's how these games work.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
There's something very, very wrong here. And yeah, doing a bit of testing, we will get an option to clearly get us out of this dialogue at some points. Let me just ask as much as I can. We have an unlocked answer. Something about not taking the painting lightly. Investigation / experts. Where did Sarah Hawkins live? She lived on the island of Darkwater.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Yeah, let's ask about that.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
He'll deny it.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that.
Or maybe not.
She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Just quietly, seeing visions probably counts as mental fragility. But it's his daughter. So I completely understand why he's presenting it like this. Something is not right with this story, clearly.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
What of the painting?
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
Painting in flames. 2 people in the painting. Strange figure. Yeah, something's up.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse...
That's right.
And you think your...
That is what... Go to Dark...
It's curious that that one's still in white. I'm guessing that's because that is a critical one. I don't think we'll get anything else here, so that is all the information I need, sir.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You will be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice.
Defined handsomely compensated.
Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Is he hiding something? Well, I mean, he's probably hiding a few things about his daughter in general, but I do wonder whether he has some sinister motivations. All that remains is to leave for Darkwater. I'll certainly find something on Darkwater in my bookcase. Alright, we picked up another clue. A woman and a child. Those were the words I was looking for earlier. Yeah, we're saying that. Darkwater. Ooh, people, places, and occults. Yuck. There's a lot of text here. Stephen Webster, 63 years old, wealthy businessman, well respected in the Boston area. Stephen Webster came to see me in order that I investigate the death of his only daughter, Sarah Hawkins. The man accepts neither refusals nor inconvenient truths. That's a very weird sentence. He is ready to do anything to prove that his daughter was not mad. Charles Hawkins, that was Sarah's wife. Charles Hawkins was a local celebrity, the heir of a ship-owner family. He used to travel a lot, met Sarah Hawkins during a trip in Paris. They fell in love, got married, and Hawkins took her to the remote island of Darkwater. They had a child named Simon and lived a very secretive life. There's Sarah. A painter known for her tortured artistic universe. She was worshipped, really, for the strangeness of her work and the rarity of her public appearances. I seem to remember that she once said, "I paint what my dreams whisper to me." That seems terrible. Her marriage to Charles years ago surprised high society columnists. A wealthy Boston heiress, known for her party-going, chooses to follow her new husband and live as a recluse on the island of Darkwater. She disappeared from the front pages of newspapers, and nobody heard any more about her. Even her death in a fire remained a secret. Only her father, Stephen Webster, continues to seek the truth. Oh, there's some bad copy here. Simon was 11. Only son of Charles and Sarah. He died in a fire that claimed his whole family. Places. My private detective agency contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that are not actually disappearances. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles. But this place is mine, for the moment. Not that. Occult. The art of Sarah Hawkins. Intuitive and visionary artist for some, overpriced imposter for others, Sarah Hawkins leaves nobody indifferent. This mysterious and reserved painter offers strange images, with violent colours and wild strokes, to the world. If her paintings are testimony to her vision of the world, then the world of Sarah Hawkins is a portal open to other dimensions. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. Yeah, she could clearly see things that the rest of the world can't. Okay, so L2 is skills. That's what we're looking at here. And on R2, we have sanity. Oh, what the hell. 18 or 17 padlocks on the left, and we have one of them unlocked, which is mental trauma. Nightmares. Edward Pierce is a veteran of the First World War, where he took part in the, I can't pronounce that, offensive. He is one of the few survivors of the Lost Battalion, American units that suffered heavy losses from enemy and Allied artillery fire. Forced to hold their position for several days, surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades, without food or medical supplies, the soldiers were considered as lost by their fellow countrymen. Pierce is traumatized by these events. He consumes sleeping pills and liquor to ward off the nightmares that haunt him. And on the right, we are stable. Apparently. Confident in your abilities and your Cartesian mind, you conduct your investigation by sticking to the facts, your convictions, and your perception of reality. Your conclusions are logical and reasonable. We're a private detective? I should hope so. I'm not sure why there is an exclamation point showing at the very top there next to Pierce. There we go. It's gone. Alright, we have a book.
I used to be an avid reader.
Is this it? No, that's about medicine. A dense work aimed at interns and young practitioners. This first volume lists all illnesses known in the civilized world. It details the symptoms and suitable treatments. Ooh, hello. Did we just get a point there? Oh, okay, I see. So, the medicine and occult skills can only be improved by objects discovered in the environments. Here's me thinking I was going to pump that up. Okay.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I used to be an avid reader.
That's really going to encourage me to click on absolutely everything, I guess.
The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage.
Yeah, it's just waiting to die or hoping to be rescued. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, that must be the book there.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? No one knows. But today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coasts of Massachusetts.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
During our dream, I thought we saw sharks rather than whales. It would seem that the world has forgotten the very existence of this isolated rock off the coast of Boston. It is a small, inhospitable island, whose coastline is made up of steep cliffs and sharp reefs, and with only one outlet to the sea. It is mainly inhabited by the descendants of whalers who set up a supply post there in the 1800s. It was hit severely by the collapse of this activity. I think that the only venture on the island that is still profitable is its medical institutes. The whaling is not profitable. Alright, there's nothing else in here apart from this glass of whiskey. I'll leave it be. It's probably best not to be drunk on the job. Alright, I have no idea. Ooh, that mold on the ceiling. That's disgusting. I don't know if we'll be coming back here or not. I imagine not. Alright, let's head to Darkwater. Chapter 2. Darkwater Pause. Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused a fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting. On the shipping label, an address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. Well, we're not drinking on the job, but we're definitely smoking on the job.
We're almost there.
That is a very tall peak. So I saw Call of Cthulhu. If that's not how it's pronounced, I apologize. Please send any complaints to Lovecraft. Came on the Skylar? No, that's Shipwreck. Never mind.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
What kind of surprise awaits me in the bar? I can interpret that in a very, very sinister way. Okay, so immediate impressions of this place. I'm very confused as to why Sarah would marry Charles and they'd head out to this shithole and live their lives as recluses. I mean, I've always had a dream of disappearing into the bush somewhere and never coming out, but this place just looks so inhospitable. Lighthouse out there. That's a house up there. That's 1000% a house up there. Oh, okay, just found a lean button. So if we hold L1 and R1, we can lean left and right. Smashing other buttons on my controller. Oh. Okay, so triangle actually lets us flip the lyser. That is absolutely essential. Good to know. D-pad's not doing anything. L3 and R3 aren't doing anything, and X and square are not doing anything. And a touchpad brings me to here. I really don't know why there's an exclamation point against Pierce. Wait. Oh, we have a character point. How do we get that? I'll save it for now because if I understand correctly, I pretty much can't level up these skills unless I got 4 or 6, so I'll make the decision a bit later down the line. But again, spot hidden and investigation is probably where I want to invest my points. Darkwater. The port. At the entrance to the port of Darkwater, one still passes in front of the shell of the Siler, the last whaling ship to have brought back a catch. Sailors wander the docks looking for some small job for the day. A gang of bootleggers has set itself up here and is gnawing away at the territory of Captain Fitzroy, the last sailor to own a boat capable of making the round trip between the island and mainland. Here, the golden age of whale hunting is but a distant memory. Fitzroy worries me a little bit. The way he said there was a surprise in there, and not to sound judgmental, but just looking at his face and listening to him speak, I get a weird vibe from him. Hell, I get a weird vibe out of this entire place. I also get a weird vibe out of Stephen.
Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
See how old this thing is. If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
You can't do that.
But it's only a fish.
Fish, you've got no idea. Don't badmouth what you don't know, or you'll pay for it for sure.
Okay, that's enough. Step back and let us do our job.
That's no way to treat an omen. Oh yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway. That's no way to treat an omen. Oh yeah?
Yeah, we're looping now.
Get us into trouble.
Can I talk to Sullivan?
You can't understand. You're not sailors.
No.
It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
What happened here? This thing landed, or they're trying to put it back into the water? I'm trying to figure out how it got here in the first place with these terrible wounds on us.
Get it? Nobody listens to us anyway. That's no way to treat an omen. Oh yeah. He's gonna
Medicine
get us in
check.
trouble.
How about no?
You can't.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
We are not qualified for either of these answers, I think. Although we're trying to be friendly to him, so let's say that.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
Indeed.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors.
Clearly hiding
It's a
something.
sign.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you
Clearly hiding something.
They're cops. They can't
I
understand.
need, I think, 1 more points to get to another level of medicine. So let me hold off on that check for now.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway. That's no way to treat an omen.
I don't think there's any way through these people.
He's gonna get us into trouble.
He told us to stay away from the warehouse, so clearly there's more going on at that warehouse than we've been told, or that he is letting on. I love the sickly green hues of this place.
See what a true sailor's got in his belly. You hear that? You bilge rats don't scare me.
What did he call us just now?
I said you were a bilge rat. And even a pox limpet. You think we don't know what you're doing? Hidden in the fog?
I'll shut up your big mouth once and for all.
Optimistic.
Are you stupid or what? Even your captain told you not to stick
Nothing
your
for
noses
you
around
here either.
again.
Beat
This
it.
isn't your home, you bunch of sand crabs. We go where we want.
Not your home.
Get us into trouble.
You're already in trouble.
Come on, can we sort this out? You can see he's half drunk.
There's nothing to sort out. Your chum wanted to stir us up.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard. You'll see what a true sailor.
Are the bootleggers not from around here normally?
You hear that? You bilge
That can't be right.
Nothing for you here
What did
either.
he call us just
Beat
now?
it.
If James Fitzroy has the only way on and off the island, then these guys must have been here for a while as well.
You think we don't know what you're doing? Hidden in the fog?
Alright, that's the Harbour Master's office. Prohibition. January 16, 1919. Momentous day in world's history. That's
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
That's one way of describing it, I guess. A momentous day in history. Yeah, he's got our eyes on us, very clearly. Alright, heading into the bar. Rude. Oh, why would you do that?
Hey, be careful.
Surprised that didn't end in a fistfight.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Okay, so he knew what happened immediately. Even though he's probably in a position where he couldn't see us actually kick the stool. Guy didn't show respect. We are not a strong boy, so we won't try that. We're also not terribly eloquent. I can say I'm sorry or you're overdoing it. I think we'll apologize.
Pure instinct. I behaved like a Hun, and I sincerely apologize.
Veteran, huh?
307th Infantry Regiment.
Oh. Well, that'll be okay for now. But the war is over. Try not to forget it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Try not to forget it. We're taking the pills and the alcohol to forget. I could say we're looking for Warehouse 36. There's a lot of stuff we can do here. I won't order a drink, even though that's probably a way to get into his good books. I'm going to try playing as a non-alcoholic today.
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
I have questions. Were those screams happening before their deaths? Also, you're calling it the Hawkins warehouse. Was it called the Hawkins warehouse before they died? Or did it become known as that warehouse? Were they living there? Was that where they worked? I have a lot of questions regarding that.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Two things. Firstly, she? And secondly, I assume James Fitzroy's involved because if they're shipping it from the mainland, he's the only one who knows about it. Or he's the only one who has a boat, rather. Find out about Darkwater. Why the stranded whale?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater. When our whalers left for long months and came back, sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
And the way things are going around here, you never will.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
They were strange because they married and they came here to live. That is strange.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
We've only seen one. Okay, so it's not either or. I can choose both options here.
Her vision, was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
I'm right for now.
That'll be all for now.